Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, the rectangle below has a perimeter of 30 centimeters and the triangle has a perimeter of 40 centimeters. What is the area of the rectangle in square centimeters? Record your answer and fill in the bubbles in the grid below. So I'm looking for the area of the rectangle. So it's very important that I know what I'm looking for, because remember, sometimes some of the problems might take very many steps to find out something. So you gotta focus on what is it that I'm looking for. We're looking for the area of the rectangle. And I'm gonna write it down over here. The formula for that is length times width. Okay, so I do not have specific measurements, but I have some expressions for them, right? So for example, the length of my rectangle is 2x. The opposite length is also 2x. The width is 2y minus 1. So the opposite is also 2y minus 1. Okay, that's my rectangle. Now, what else do I know about the rectangle? Well, in the rectangle, it says that it has a perimeter of 30 centimeters. Okay, so if I was to find the perimeter for this rectangle, it will need to be equals to 30, right? Now, what other shape are we talking about? Well, we're talking about a triangle, and this triangle has a perimeter of 40 centimeters. Now, remember, perimeter means all the way around, okay? Any questions so far? Okay, so what about if we start writing my expressions? For example, if I want to find the perimeter for my rectangle, I will need to write down something like this. Perimeter equals twice the length plus twice the width. Okay, so perimeter, I know it, it's 30 centimeters. So I'm going to write down 30. My length, I have it right there as 2x. And my width, I have it on the right side as 2y minus 1. So basically what I did is I replaced the length with the expression for that. I replaced the width with the expression that goes with it. Okay, so I'm going to continue. So I'm going to multiply 2 times 2x. I get 4x plus 2 times 2y gives me 4y minus 2 times that negative 1 is negative 2. That's why I'm going to write down minus 2. Okay, so notice how I still have x and y on the same side. Okay, so in order for me to work out a question, I will need to either do a process of elimination, maybe substitution and things like that. So right now, I don't know which one I want you to do, but we'll check on that in a minute. What about if we move down to the triangle? Okay, so in my triangle, I need to find the perimeter for that. Now remember, perimeter means all the way around. So I'm gonna need to add this one, which is 3x minus 1, plus the next side, which is 3y, plus the last side, that is 2x plus 7. Okay, so do I know the perimeter for that one? Yes, I do, right? So instead of writing the p, let's write down the actual measurement, which is 40. Equals, can I combine any like terms? Yes, right? I can combine 3x and 2x. Okay, so 3x plus 2x gives me 5x plus the 3y. And I can also combine the minus 1 and the plus 7, which gives me a plus 6. Okay, now the next thing that I want to do is I do see x and y on the same side, but also I see the constant. So I'm going to get rid of this constant. I'm going to eliminate my plus 6 by subtracting 6 on both sides. So this gives me 34 equals 5x plus 3y. Okay, so now I have my two equations, right? And the only problem that I see right now is that in both of them, I have x and y together. So what I need to do is, if I want to do substitution, then I need to work with one of my equations so that I can leave y or x by itself. Is that right? Okay, so I'm going to work with my first equation, and I'm going to leave y by itself. So I need to get rid of my minus 2. I'm going to eliminate that by adding 2 on both sides. And I get 32 equals 4x plus 4y. And the 2 and the minus 2 cancel, right? Since I want to leave y by itself, I need to subtract 4x's on both sides. When I do that, my new left side will be negative 4x plus 32 equals my 4x's cancel, and I get the 4y. Since I want y by itself, I need to divide by 4. And on the left side, look what I'm going to do. I'm going to divide each term by 4, okay? So that I don't get confused about the way that I'm dividing my numbers. So negative 4 divided by 4 is a negative 1x, plus 32 divided by 4 is 8, and 4 divided by 4 is 1, which I have a y. So now this is my first equation that I can actually replace on my triangle, okay? Because now y is by itself. Yes? So what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to start my substitution, okay? So I'm going to come back and write down my equation. But now I am going to replace the y with my value that I found, which is negative 1x plus 8. So look what I did over here. This y has this value because I have it over here on my other side. Is that correct? So I'm just replacing it. So let's go ahead and continue. So I still have the 34, and I'm still going to have the 5x. Now I need to do distributive property, and that gives me a minus 3x plus 24. Okay? So what I need to do now is combine like terms. Notice how now I have only my x's. There's no more y. And that's the whole idea of a substitution. You want to make sure that your equation is going to be in terms of only one variable, not two. Okay? So my next step is going to be 34 equals 5x minus 3x is 2x plus 24. Okay? Since I want to leave x by itself, okay? Notice how here I want to leave my x. So I'm trying to find what color that I haven't used. Okay, here. So my x's are here, right? So what I'm going to do is, now notice how I ended up with only one x. One term with an x, which is awesome, right? So what I need to do next, get rid of my constant. I need to eliminate 24. So I am going to subtract 24 on both sides. Okay? So what do I get here? Okay, so let's continue. 34 minus 24, it's 10. And my 24 cancels, so I get only 2 x's, right? So notice how my 2x, my variable, it's almost alone, right? But we need one more step. So I need to remove or eliminate the 2, right? Which is multiplying the x, and the opposite of multiplying it's dividing. So I want to divide by 2. Okay, 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So I get 5 equals x. So now that's my value for x. But that's not it, right? Because now I need to go back and find the value for the y. Okay, so I'm going to come back to my rectangle. And I do have an expression here, which is negative 1x plus 8 equals y. So notice how I have both variables, x and y. But luckily for us, now I can substitute the x with a 5. And that will help me find the value for y. So negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. Negative 5 plus 8 gives me a what? Positive 3, right? So now I have the value for y. And the value for y is 3. So now it's a long problem, right? Stay with me, please. So now I'm going to go back to my rectangle, and I will replace those values on the length and the width. So in the length it's 2x. Therefore, I'm going to multiply 2 times the value of the x, which is 5, and I get a 10. So the length is going to be 10. Okay? And of course, we're talking about centimeters, right? What about the width? Well, the width is 2 times the height, which is 3. But I still need to take away 1. So 2 times 3 is 6, minus 1 is 5. So now I have the value for both of them. Okay? I have the value for my length, which is 10, and the width is 5. Okay, so this is my width over here, guys. Okay? And of course, it's 5 centimeters. Okay? Write it down over here. So I'm going to write it down on the width. So now I have both values, 10 and 5. So the area, we agree that you were going to find it by multiplying length times width. So the length is 10 centimeters. The width is 5 centimeters. And if you multiply those, we get 50 centimeters. Now remember that area is always going to be square units. So it's square centimeters. And that will be my final answer. Okay, so I'm going to come back to my grid and I am going to write down my 50. Now notice how 50 is positive. It's up to you if you want to bubble in the positive or not. If it makes you feel more comfortable, we can always write it down and make sure that you guys bubble that. Now, it's not going to be penalized if you guys don't circle or bubble in the positive. It will still be counted correctly. Okay? So it's a little bit of a long problem, guys, but if you can figure out how to work out all these questions, then we're in good shape, right?